Okay, we're back. What is today? Saturday, the 4th, I believe. Maybe it's the 4th. Yeah, I lose track unless I'm looking at my calendar. I've got to scribble off each day so I don't get lost in the month. We got the chassis all refinished and unmasked. Got the cap back on the transformer. We're going to check that later. We got a finishing coat on all of this. I got I still got to get a sticker printed for the back of this thing regarding the I forget what it is, tubes or something. Yeah. We got the thing recapped. We didn't mess with any of these yet because I'm going to check those later on under test and see if there's going to be any reception issues or any other issues concerning the bands and the reception. There is this one here that most people will probably miss. The original was in the back side of this terminal strip right there, and I almost missed it when I was checking one of these down here, the connection points on those things. I happened to notice that one tucked underneath behind those two mica caps, and it's going to be a squeaker to get to. I had to desolder this thing and flip it 90 degrees so I could get to it and clip it out of there. And I put the new one in on the top here, and then resoldered that back in. So, I mean, having one of those big daddies there, I think that's a 325, if I'm not mistaken, a 325, and it handles that pretty well. So it's kind of handy to have one of those. You'll never do it with a pencil soldering iron. I can see why some of them guys don't even go that far with things. They don't mess with them. You got to have a gun. I mean, to doing this point-to-point wiring stuff and everything, you'll get it done a lot quicker, and you'll do a lot better with a gun, provided you have the room to maneuver it in here. So now that we got all of that, I just got to take and start putting stuff back on this thing. I've got the dirty rotten dresser breaker. I got the tuner cleaned up and everything, and got it all back together and everything. I still yet to kind of check that out to see whether or not this thing is going to hold up pretty well. I've got to clean these up, so now that I got them out, I still got yet to do that. I haven't been doing much for about the last week since my last video, because it's just been blustery and it's been cold in the mornings and everything. And as you can see, it's about 1 o'clock, and I got my flamethrower on because this dungeon gets pretty cold in here. So I got to heat it up for a few minutes while I let the temps come up, so I can come out and do something. I have backup also, just in case my frailness can't handle it. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to get to this, we're going to get to that, and then we got the volume control to clean up and get it to one of these things. I think that's the reason why we wasn't getting too much when I made it a test fire up on this thing, because when I pulled that thing out, it just came loose. So, and there's all the caps that came out. I still yet to go through and check every capacitor in here. Get my little drink out of the way. Now, I'm going to get this cleaned up. I'm going to strip this felt. Now I'm going to strip this felt off of here, and I'm going to go on it with some of this felt. And I've already checked it with the dial glass, and it's got a real nice look to it. So we're going to be doing that now today. Maybe I might be able to get outside because it's looking pretty good out here. It's looking pretty good out here, and the temp is nice. We got a slight breeze, but it's not bad. It's not like bone chilling, cutting throat and rootin' tootin', fastest shooting. So we're gonna try and get that cabinet out there so we can take a good close look at it and see how involved that's going to be. So stand by. We'll have more after a bit. Okay, here we are on the high boost, low boost, and the radio phono push button. We took it apart to get it thoroughly cleaned. I believe we had some success. These little, let me see if I can get a pointy here. These tangs right here on each end, they go on to these holes here. This here flips right over like that, goes right onto those, and then you just kind of just twist them a little bit, give them a little bend so that it stays together. You have to manage getting these into these pinchers here at the same time. I'll let you know whenever I get ready to put it back together how bad of a problem it is. But anyway, I decided to go this far with it because I don't think I did it on the other 7039 that I had, and it worked just fine. So I may not have had to take this apart, but now it's done. So, and I'm using my deoxit stuff. I finally splurged and got some, because you need that deoxit fader F5. You need them basically for the, or definitely for the volume controls, because if you don't, some of the Zenith controls, you'll wipe them out if you go and use any kind of a cleaner in them. So and don't ask me how I know. So anyway, that is it for that. We got the volume control cleaned up, and the lugs cleaned up. We're going to do the same thing with this push button, this high boost, low boost. Get all those checked out and get those two caps replaced. And I need to look at my old 7039 and see if I have any pics of it in the final stage, because I did change some of the components on that in order to enhance the boost features on it. So I got the other items that we covered in the previous video segment out in the dip. I got the springs there from the push button assembly parts, and they are out there soaking, so I can give them a scrubbing and get them nice and clean before we attempt to put the tuner slash push button sub-assemblies back together again. So stay tuned, we'll have more later.